A proud supporter of this program, Riverbend Food Bank's vision is a hunger-free Iowa and Illinois.
Whelan Presley Funeral Home and Crematory has been serving Quad City families since 1889. Whelan Presley Funeral Homes are located in Rock Island, Milan, and Reynolds and are proud supporters of WQPT.
New leadership on Museum Hill and a salute to the military for an entire summer season on the stage in the cities. The Putnam Museum is marking 152 years in the cities with a new president and CEO. Rachel Mullen-Steiner takes the reins of the museum this week as Kim Findley retires after a dozen years at the Putnam. What can we expect and what's on the exhibit list for the coming months? Well, we know one thing. One exhibit is certainly out of this world. And joining us is Rachel Mullen-Steiner, the new president and CEO of the Putnam Museum. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank
we were
you.
talking a little bit earlier. You really feel like this is a good fit for you.
It's a great match. Yeah, the process of the search really was a long one and asked candidates to kind of meet with the board, and it really mapped kind of skills and assets against the needs of the museum. So I go in knowing a lot about some of the gifts that I can bring, and it's a good match.
We're talking about a century and a half of this museum.
Years, yeah.
I mean, this is a big deal to be taking over the Putnam Museum at a pretty good time for the museum, is it not?
Yes, it really is. I mean, it's a tremendous honor and a tremendous responsibility. I mean, it really is kind of the holder of our history in the community, but also is really kind of guaranteeing our future in the education programs and the interactive exhibits and protecting the collection for future generations. So it's an exciting time.
And we got a lot of ground to cover because I want to talk about all that stuff. But let me talk about Kim Findley. She had been the head for about 12 years, spearheaded so much of what the Putnam is that we see today. It's been a good transition too. I mean, the way that you've been able to grab the baton, so to speak, and move forward.
Yeah, big shoes to fill. Kim was with the organization about 12 years, so she really was the heart of many of the blockbuster exhibits and the new science center, the Immerse curriculum, which is for our fifth graders. So she's just done extraordinary work and really brought the museum through a really critical time in its history.
But it's an exciting time now as well, is it not?
It is, yeah.
Let me talk about some of the funding issues, because that was one of the areas that Kim had worked hard on, is to try to find some stable funding for the Putnam. Is that still a major issue? Because I know there's been some great progress made in the last only 6 months.
Really,
actually.
yeah. We have some tremendous partners in place. So we're working with local funders on bridge funding to move us into more stable city funding. Our partners at the City of Davenport have stepped forward to support the museum, as municipal museums are supported across the nation. And many of our local museums receive similar support. But more than that, the city is a great partner in some of the programmatic connections as well. So I'm excited about this opportunity to really bring new collaboration through the Davenport Public Library, the environmental focus of Public Works, and of course our West End partnership there on the Hill with Parks and Rec, with Fedgeberry Park being there. So it's an exciting time.
Because let's be honest, I mean, location. And you are there at Division Street and about 12th Street, Museum Hill. I mean, there's just so much history there alone.
Absolutely, and some great assets still in place in the neighborhood that we'll be working with. So coming from the Davenport Community School District, I was with the schools for about 18 years. We've got the Children's Village right next door, and of course Fedgeberry Park and the Mary Cross Senior Campus. So there's a wonderful West End campus there for us to be working with. And I think that our current partners and our funders, and particularly Cultural Trust, are really kind of investing in a new approach that's not only about the community as an asset or an amenity, but as a destination and what that can mean for a neighborhood and within economic development plans in the community.
And also as a place for discussion to be held. And the reason why I bring this up is because your exhibit on race is coming to a close right now. Actually extended about a month more than was expected. Is that what the Putnam is about?
Yeah, becoming more of a convening partner, I think, in some of that discussion and dialogue. We just recently hosted Ed Liebau from the American Anthropological Association, who joined us for the census launch. He was thrilled to have the exhibit that he helped develop really serve as a launching pad for some of those conversations. But it was sponsored through RDA and Hubble Waterman, and then Estes Construction came on and also sponsored discussion circles. So we had about 30,000 visitors through the door to see RACE since its late January launch. And then we had about 60 discussion circles.
And that's
that
what I kind of wanted to underline, is because,
Yeah.
I mean, that's not something that you expect from a museum necessarily.
Right, yeah.
Is that what you want to see more of?
Yeah, Mr. Liebau kind of really positioned it as a safe space for those conversations within the context of the exhibit, but also creating that dialogue between friends and neighbors about some difficult conversation. And that, in this case, race, but there will be future exhibits coming from the partners on immigration, migration, patterns, and environment. So we can serve as that safe space, really aligning kind of immersive experiences with dialogue.
That's very interesting that that is the future for the museum.
It's exciting, yeah.
I want to talk about another exhibit, though, that you have coming up. It's the 50th anniversary of the moon landing, of course.
I know, that's a favorite of yours.
I know. And so you are going to be, this is cool, too, is because, I'm sorry, I'm nuts about the moon landing. But it's kind of neat is that you keep forgetting that that's 2.5 generations ago.
Yeah, amazing. I love the role of the museum in really putting history in context. You know, it really brings it to life, especially for generations that may not remember the lunar landing.
Yeah, rub my nose in it.
So we'll be hosting a couple of really important documentary films. Apollo 11 is one of those that we'll be launching. And then on July 20th, we're going to be hosting a lunar launch party, which is going to be a mix of kind of for that historian buff that really is interested in the lunar landing itself, but also folks that are just really interested in the era, because it was such an important time for so many reasons. So it'll be kind of a cosmic party. As part of the lunar launch,
Well, you were talking about some of the things that Kim Finley had done, and she pointed out how proud she was of the Princess Di dress and the Princess Di exhibit, and King Tut. And I remember the Da Vinci exhibit was phenomenal. Titanic was a huge thing. The blockbuster events like that are very expensive.
They are.
And they're also sometimes hard to find because they are touring other museums.
Right.
Is that one of the things that you do hope to do, is to bring in some more of these blockbusters in the years ahead?
I think we're going to stay very kind of opportunistic for those as they come. But we also want to feature the local collection more deeply. And I think, you know, some of the things we're experiencing now with our Beautiful Objects exhibit really bring some of our local collections to life. We are so lucky to have had these extraordinary families collecting all over the world over the course of a century. And so that collection is with us now, and we want to bring that more and more to life, especially for new generations. We also are going to continue to expand the Science Center, which has become kind of our calling card as well, that immersive learning experience for kids of all ages. I see a lot of adults enjoying the Science Center as well. So we're continuing to build that exhibit. We have a new augmented reality experience around topography.
And let's talk about that, because you also have a Jurassic Park exhibit that's coming, and it's all augmented reality, more hands-on. Explain what that is, though.
So we have a Back to the Jurassic augmented reality experience where you can actually walk into the room and be surrounded by the Jurassic environment, including all of the animals, dinosaurs, that come with it. So it's a wonderful experience to kind of be surrounded in this sort of real-world environment from the Jurassic period. It's going to be a great backdrop for our upcoming Dino Days experience coming up in August 9th through the 11th, where we're going to be featuring our Dino Dig, where students will actually be able to meet a real paleontologist and experience some of the techniques and the tools of paleontology. We're going to have large-scale puppets, dinosaurs, including the Dilophosaurus, who is probably best known on Jurassic Park as the one that spits venom and has the neck frill.
The neck that comes out.
Right. So we're going to have a Dilophosaurus and a baby Triceratops, and
because you know there's kids that are still like absolutely
gaga for the dinos.
Thank you.
Yes, they love them. They love them. So we're going to kind of capitalize on our current exhibit with the augmented reality from the Jurassic period and our Dino Dig space, and then bring these new experiences for students where they'll be exploring different facets of dinosaurs and archaeology and paleontology.
And I want to talk about, I mean, the Putnam's service to families and children in particular really is extended into the summer. You have a number of different summer camps. Engineering is among your most popular.
It is.
And there's still some openings this summer for some of these camps.
Yeah, really exciting. I mean, I think that the family experience with the Putnam, for most of us, we started in the Putnam as youth in the collection, and that continues. We serve about 35,000 school children every year, 110 districts from around the region, and then the summer months are our camps. So we do have some wonderful camps with space still available if folks are interested. Right. The Artistes de Voyage, we're going to have students creating their own superhero, and then of course the engineering camps and meteorology, and just a lot of great experiences still available for students and families, and they can check it all out on our website.
Yeah, I mean, it is all listed. Some of them have already been filled.
Yes,
I understand
they fill
that, but
quickly.
still.
Yeah, so we really encourage families to check that out and make their reservations both for the camps and also for the Dino Days, because we have only 3 days of that offering and it will fill fast.
So tell me about the future of museums. Tell me about the future of Putnam, because you have to stay relevant.
Yeah.
It's more than exhibits. As you're pointing out, you're talking about augmented reality. You're talking, what's interesting about the exhibit on race is how many people in the community contribute to this exhibit. So you're really trying to break down some of the walls of what, you know, like an art museum is where you just kind of come and you can't touch. That's not your idea at all.
No, this is considered more of an immersive learning experience. And so we're utilizing some of the classic exhibits and collections of a museum setting, but through experiential learning, really bringing more and more of that to life. So whether it's through exhibits like Race that really prompt questions and dialogue and sometimes some controversy, or whether it's pure education experiences or hands-on learning, that's really the future trend, that we're honoring those collections that are part of our history, our heritage, but we're using them as a modern learning tool.
And let's be honest, you have to stay fresh all the time.
I
mean, so if you haven't been to the Putnam lately, you
got to get to the Putnam. We've just got extraordinary offerings, and it really is the community's museum.
Rachel Mullen-Steiner, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. President
it's an honor.
and CEO
Thank you.
of the Putnam Museum in the Quad Cities. Well, the 4th of July weekend is now over, but there's still plenty of fun throughout the cities during these hot days of summer. Just ask Laura Adams. She happens to be out and about.
This is Out and About for July 1st through 7th. Catch the Mississippi Valley Blues Festival in Murphy Park at the Bend in East Moline, July 5th and 6th. Mercado on 5th features music from Grupo Instinto, July 5th. Enjoy the fireworks and events at these locations on the 3rd. Orion Fireworks Festival and Lighted Parade at Orion High School. The 52nd Annual Matherville Fireworks Display on the shores of Lake Matherville. Red, White, and Boom fireworks locations include Modern Woodman Park in Davenport, Schwiebert Park in Rock Island, Arsenal Island, and the Quad City Botanical Center. Or check out the Independence Day celebrations in Geneseo on the 4th, featuring the Kiwanis Pork in the Park and Patriotic Band Concert at the Geneseo City Park. Check out free music concerts at Runners Park in East Moline the 7th, or a summer concert featuring Tail Fins at Moline Township Activity Center on the 1st. Schwiebert Riverfront Park is the site for the 5th annual Dawn and On Music Festival on the 6th. Tickets are $10 at the gate and benefit family resources. On stage, Mississippi Bend players present the original play A Green River about a soldier with PTS at the Bruner Theater at Augustana College, while Circa 21 presents the musical Holiday Inn, and for kids, the true story of the Three Little Pigs. Next door at the Speakeasy, there's burlesque with Viva La Divas and comedy with Shots and Giggles. For more information, visit wqpt.org.
Thank you, Laura. Murray Lee Rice is part of the four-man group Rude Punch, but he joined us at the Black Box Theater to show us some of his solo work. Here's Murray Lee Rice with Happy or the Unnecessary Need to Self-Destruct.
Street, but I'm used to gravel roads. finally on a straightaway. Why am I waiting for this car to explode? They say happiness suits someone. Why does it feel so off on me? I've just been beaten down for so long. This is such a new feeling, and I'm scared that it's going to leave me. Finally out of the deep end to water shallow and pure. So why am I trying to pull up on this lifeboat's anchor? They say happiness will set you free. Why do I feel like I'm drowning? I've just been swimming for so long. These shallow waters worry me, and I'm scared to be carefree. I'm finally flying high, an island of bliss awaits me. Why am I calling for a nosedive from the only first class seat? They say happiness is the greatest thing. Why do I let it punish me? I've just been in a hole for so long. Cloud nine makes me queasy, and I'm scared to be. Oh, I'm scared to be. Yes, I'm scared to be happy.
Murray Lee Rice with Happy, or the unnecessary need to self-destruct. The Mississippi Band Players is a professional troupe that takes the stage during the summer at Augustana's Bruner Theater. And this season, the Players are sticking to a theme that's centered on the military. And joining us is Mike Schultz of the Mississippi Band Players. Good to see you, old friend.
Good to see you as well.
Third season.
Third season. How about that?
Yeah, well, let me ask you, how about that?
I'm pretty excited about that. Yeah, third season is the only professional regional summer stock company in the Quad Cities. Not bad.
And you guys are at Bruner Theater. I mean,
yeah.
I know that was like, you kind of almost broke it in there for a while, didn't you?
We came around the summer after they opened in the fall. It is a gorgeous theater. If you haven't been there, it's fantastic. I was an Augustana grad myself, and am so jealous that those kids get to play in that theater all the time, because it wasn't around when I was a kid. That wasn't around. So
yeah, well, they have lights now too.
They do, yes. Indoor plumbing, all sorts of good stuff.
All these things
amenities aplenty. Yeah.
Biloxi Blues just finished up, but that really did kick off what you're doing as a military theme.
Absolutely.
Group.
Yeah, we had, well, of course, you know, any day of the year is worth celebrating the men and women of the military, obviously. We had, but this season came around because there were two shows that we really had been wanting to do for quite a while. One being Biloxi Blues, Neil Simon's Tony-winning comedy, set in the Army, great fun. And also an original drama called A Green River, which will be opening on July 5th. It's the story about a young man named Eric White who enlists in the Army, goes overseas, comes back with some serious post-traumatic stress, and kind of has to deal with his new world. And once we have those two titles set, you can't really do Cats after that. You have to find something similarly themed, and so we chose Dames at Sea, which is a great tap dancing musical about a sailor songwriter who wants to stage a big Broadway show in the 30s. And
well, you really are kind of almost the whole gamut of what you can possibly do
seriously,
as far as the military theme is
absolutely
concerned.
Right. Yeah.
I do want to talk about A Green River, because we did feature this. I think the first time it was staged, we talked about it, and then we talked with Philip William McKinley and Aaron Randolph. Aaron Randolph being the writer of this.
That's right.
What is it about a locally created project like this that's so attractive?
Basically, in this one, it's got a lot of attractions. Part of them being Phil and Aaron right there. But also, I've been doing theater a really long time. I have never been involved with a show that's this cinematic as far as a stage piece.
That's interesting.
It's really incredible, and it's a completely different staging from when we did it in 2013 at Augustana and at the QC Theater Workshop as well. This one puts all 8 actors on the stage simultaneously, and the lead, the gentleman who's playing Eric White, kind of travels into different worlds, goes to see his counselor and sees his family and sees his drill sergeant and sees his brother and sees his wife. And so they interrupt his world, he interrupts theirs, and it flows in 90 kind of seamless minutes that Phil talks about as a concerto. It's really almost musical in its drama. It's really incredible. One of the best scripts I've read, certainly locally, if not nationwide and worldwide. It's wonderful.
Well, and it really is important to kind of, I don't know, help a local guy. I mean,
exactly.
to showcase some of the local talent that's going on here.
For sure, and Aaron is a marvelous talent. He has written adaptations of Inheritors and The Little Prince, which just played at the workshop. He's written for St. Ambrose University and Davenport Junior Theater. He's incredible, and the fact that we get to have him with us and playing with Phil McKinley, whose Broadway credits are ridiculous. Spider-Man, Turn Off the Dark, and The Boy from Oz, which won Hugh Jackman a Tony. And then you get this great cast of local professional actors and visiting actors and college students. It's incredible.
Well,
incredible
let's be honest.
experience.
I mean, the Mississippi Bend Players is kind of his dream. I mean, it's his creation, is it not?
Absolutely, yeah. Phil, our executive director, kind of came up with the notion based on a program that he was in at Augustana in the 70s, and it seemed like with the creation of this new theater, it seemed like a great time to jumpstart that again. 3rd year, and it's going great. It is a bunch of incredibly talented college interns with some of us who are lucky enough to get to act outside of our day jobs, and then visiting professionals as well. Not bad.
Well, I mean, you've been a writer and a critic of film and entertainment scene in the Quad Cities for quite some time. Explain to me why the stage is so exciting in the Quad Cities. There are so many different theaters.
Isn't it wild? I think if you add educational theater, there's something like 13 to 15 different companies going on at once in an annual year in the Quad Cities.
At a certain level, they're all in their own way thriving.
Absolutely. Everybody has their niche. And what's great about it is it makes people who go to, say, who like, for instance, Music Guild, because they will see, actors from one show also doing something smaller at the Black Box Theater or at Newground Theater or the Workshop, and they'll see college kids from Ambrose and Augustana being in some of these productions as well. It explodes their interest in other genres and kind of makes all theater around here viable. Every group has its audience, and those audiences seek out other things, which is great.
Does that say something about the Quad Cities as well, as far as the audience is concerned?
I would hope so. I would hope to think that they realize that this is an incredibly fertile ground for imagination and creativity. I mean, in our visual art scene as well, in our music scene as well, and. And it's certainly exciting for those people who want to put it on to be able to know that there will be an appreciative audience out there. It's great. We're lucky to live in this community as far as how much art there is on a daily basis.
Well, and also the amount of talent that's out there too, because you wouldn't be able to stage this without the number of actors.
There's one weekend in July in which I think there's going to be 8 local productions all going on at the same time, some of them with casts of 40 and 50 people. You've got, right there, you've got about 300 to 400 people performing, let alone all these hundreds of people who are coming in to be audience members, and it somehow works. It's incredible. There's a lot of talent to go around, for sure.
And there's also been a lot of workshops. I mean, there's been a lot of ways to get younger people still active.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. When I was a student in the 80s at Augustana, back in the day, I went home back to Chicagoland for the summer because there weren't that many options. Circa 21's always been around and a couple of the other community theaters, but now it is thriving with the Prenzi Players who are doing shows and the Spotlight Theater in Moline and, of course, Laura Adams' Black Box. There's just so much, and it runs such a gamut of musical comedy to intense drama to Shakespeare to original works like Green River. It's really amazing. I wound up in the right town. I don't know how I got so lucky.
It's
incredible.
Well,
really.
we're lucky as well.
Stop.
Want to want to point out at the end of the month, as you were pointing out, Dames at Sea.
Yes.
Because you got to end with something fun.
You got to end with some tap dancing.
There you go.
Every summer should end with tap dancing. And so we've got a wonderful international talent, Shelley Cooper, who's also a professor over at Augustana, is directing this. It's got a terrific cast. Christina Myatt and her daughter Anna Myatt are both in the show. Wonderful tap dancers. It's got a great score. It's got funny music. It's a really, really hilarious book. And it's a great way to kind of end our season and take our, just loosen our ties, basically.
And have a little bit of fun.
And have some fun, for sure.
Are you pretty proud of the Mississippi Bend players?
Oh,
I mean, what it's
man,
become?
I can't even believe it. I was lucky enough to be an actor 2 years ago in the inaugural season for Wait Until Dark and Brighton Beach Memoirs. Somehow, for some reason, Phil thought that I might be able to also be a boss type person, which is ridiculous to me.
Boss type person. Is that in your business card?
That goes right here, right above my, and so I did that job last year and didn't burn the building down, which is great. And we're back again, and I could not be prouder of it. I'm proud of Phil's mission. I'm proud of the talent that gets recruited, and the shows are pretty spectacular, I got to say.
And the crowd should come.
The crowd should come, absolutely. If you build it.
Yeah, there you go. I like
see what
that.
I did there? Yeah.
Where did that come from? Mike Schultz, Mississippi Bend Players.
pleasure.
Thanks so much for joining us.
You
We
bet.
do appreciate it. WQPT wants you to experience the world, but you need your passport first. The WQPT Passport is a member benefit that provides you with extended access to our on-demand library of quality programs, including current and past PBS shows. Simply donate at least $5 a month or $60 a year. That's a minimum. You can give more. Go to WQPT.org for more information. On the air, on the radio, on the web, and on your mobile device. Thanks for taking some time to join us as we talk about the issues on the cities.
A proud supporter of this program, Riverbend Food Bank's vision is a hunger-free Iowa and Illinois.
Whelan Presley Funeral Home and Crematory has been serving Quad City families since 1889. Whelan Presley Funeral Homes are located in Rock Island, Milan, and Reynolds and are proud supporters of WQPT.